Whether you're doing the writing part, the reading part, or the speaking of IELTS, you do require a strong vocabulary. And here is the list of words from one of the Cambridge books from the reading passages. We shall understand the word, the meaning of it, and the clear usage of it. So here we go. Turrets. These are the small towers in a building or a castle. The castle had stone turrets at each corner. Second word, wicked. Wicked is very bad or evil in nature. The wicked man cheated everyone in the village. The third word, gallant. That is brave or noble. The gallant soldier saved the child. Although, in spite of the fact, although is in spite of the fact. Although it was raining, they continued walking. Though. Similar word for although is though, which is the replacement of but or however, which means the task was hard, though he completed it, which means the task was hard, but he completed it. The next is an adjective which means enchanting, that means very, very attractive, that is very charming or delightful. The garden looked enchanting in the evening light. That means in the evening, in the moonshade, the garden was very delightful, very pleasing, very attractive. Next word is fantasy. Fantasy, imagination, or a story with magical ideas. Children enjoy reading fantasy books. The books which not only have a fantasy, that is a story, but they also have magical ideas in it. Another very strong word is repercussion. That means a result or a consequence of an action. The result, the outcome, or the consequence of an action. The decision had serious repercussions for the team. That means the results were very serious. Next word, abandon. Abandon. That means to leave behind something or to leave something behind. They had to abandon the plan due to lack of time. There was no time for them, so they need to leave the plan. Next is a transition word which is in favor of. In favor of. That means supporting something. Most people voted in favor of the new rule. New rule. Most people voted in favor of new rule. Next is regulate. Regulate is a good word for controlling or managing. The reason for the words is to understand not only the clear meaning but also to change your own vocabulary. Regulate. It is to control or manage. The government will control. No. The government will regulate food safety standards. Pretense. Pretense. That is acting or pretending something is false. Acting or pretending something is false. She smiled under the pretense of being happy. That means she acted as if she is happy. Later on. That means at a future time. At a future time. We will discuss this later on. That means we will discuss this afterwards, after some time, not now. Settle down. This is a good phrasal verb, which means to become calm or start living in a stable life. That means you start a very standard life or stable life. There are no hiccups. So that you say settle down. After traveling for years, he decided to settle down. That means to become calm, no more traveling, and to start a stable life. Another word is underpins. Underpins is supporting or forming the base of something. Supporting. Trust underpins every strong relationship. That means trust supports every strong relationships. Then it is crucial. Crucial. Crucial is highly important. Highly important. The sentence is proper training is crucial for success. That is, Very, very important for success. Extol, a beautiful adjective which means to praise highly. Praise highly. The teacher extolled his hard work. The teacher praised his hard work, or he was praised for his hard work. Virtue is a very good word again, which means good quality or moral excellence. Virtue, moral excellence. Opposite of this is vice, V-I-C-E. Honesty is an important virtue. Scarce, scarce. Something is to frighten, to be afraid of, to fear something. The loud noise scared the children. Curtail, curtail is to control, to reduce or to limit. Curtail is to reduce or limit. They had to curtail expenses this month. That means they had to limit their expenses this month. So they were budgeting. Perception, the way you understand or see something. The way you understand or see something. You have your own ideology, you have your own way of understanding or observing things. So that is called as perception. His perception of this issue changed after the discussion. So his way of thinking changed after a small discussion. Emphasis, emphasis, special attention or focus. The teacher placed emphasis on reading skills. She gave special attention. She focused all the students to develop their reading skills. The most common word again is lack. Lack is not having something. It is not enough of something. The project failed due to lack of planning. There was no proper planning. There was no enough planning. Next is evidence. Evidence is proof. We know the word. So instead of using the word proof, try to substitute it evidence. There was no evidence to support the claim. Next word is initiated. That is started something. Started something. The company initiated a new training program. Spontaneous. That means very quick. Happening without planning. You haven't planned anything. It is done very instantly. That is called as spontaneous. The children started a spontaneous dance. That is a quick dance, an immediate dance, a dance without any proper planning or prior planning. Next is unpredictable. Unpredictable. Predict is to guess. Unpredictable is not possible to guess. The weather is unpredictable in this region. Intervene, very important and strong word for all the academic reading papers. Intervene. Intervene is to step in or take an action. You step in that situation or you try to take an action. That is intervene. The teacher had to intervene during the argument. There was an argument probably between the students, and the teacher had to come and take a step in or take an action on that. So that is intervene. Hope you are learning all the words and enjoying the words as I do. Next word is a phrasal verb, which is point out. Point out, a phrasal verb, which means to show or mention something. He pointed out the mistake in the report. Impact. Instead of using the word effect or influence, go with the word impact. Pollution has a strong impact on health, which means pollution has a strong influence on health. Later, later, that is after some time. I will meet you after some time. So correct phrasing is I will meet you later. A very common word we say thanks, but here is a phrasal verb which means thanks to. Thanks to. What does that mean? It is because of something positive. Because of something positive. Thanks to your help, the work finished early. Thanks to technology, we can work anywhere. Thanks to internet, we have access to everything. So what is thanks to? Because of being positive. Undertaking, that is to take a task or a project. Building the bridge was a huge undertaking. It was a task. It was a project. It is not undertaking, that is doing something under your control. This is undertaking itself is a task or a project. We have another good word used for children, which is toddlers. Toddlers. That means very young children. Very young children. Toddlers need constant supervision. Constant is regular. Supervision is checking. You need to every time observe them. Right. Next word is sort. Sort. S-O-R-T. Sort is type or category. What sort of behavior is yours? What sort of behavior is yours? Something like that. So here the example is, this sort of behavior is not acceptable. Is not acceptable. Facilitate. That means to make something easier. Facilitate. To make something easier. Computers facilitate fast communication. That means they have made communication more faster, more easier. We are coming close to the end of the word list. Next word is aspect. Aspect is part or feature. Time management is an important part of success, important feature of success. Yes, it's an important aspect of success. Regulate. Regulate is to control or manage, which means the body regulates temperature naturally. The body regulates temperature naturally. Next is the word key. Key means very important. Discipline is a key in learning, key factor in learning. That is very important factor in learning. Predictor, something that shows what might happen. Early reading skills are a predictor of school success. Predictor, that means something is going to happen. Indicator, a sign that shows a condition. A sign that shows a condition. High demand is an indicator of market growth. So if there is a market growth, there is a sign showing that it is a condition of high demand. Clue or clues, the plural of clue is clues, which means hints or signs that help find an answer. The doctor looked for clues about the illness. So he is finding the hints or the signs to find the illness. Diagnosis. Diagnosis. That means identifying a disease or a problem. The diagnosis helps start the right treatment. One of the diseases is autism. Autism. That means a developmental condition affecting communication and behavior. In a child, the communication and behavior is highly hampered if he is a victim of autism. Early support helps children with autism. Stimulus. Stimulus. Something that causes a reaction. Music can act as a stimulus of creativity. Music can act as a stimulus for creativity. That means that can start creativity. Approach. Approach is the method or a way. The teacher used a new approach to explain grammar. That means she used a new method or a new way to explain grammar. Instructional. 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 That means related to teaching or giving information. Related to teaching or giving information. The instructional videos were easy to follow. The instructional videos were easy to follow. So the videos which were giving or teaching us something, some information, they were easy to follow. Latest, L-A-T-E-S-T, latest. Latest is the most recent one, most fresh one. She bought the latest edition of the book. That means the most recent edition of the book. Through, that means from one side to the other, or by using something. They walked through the park. That means from one side of the park to the other side of the park. Debate. Debate is a discussion with different opinions. The debate continued for 2 hours. Landscape, that is the scenery or the view of an area. The mountain landscape was beautiful. Regarded. Regarded is considered or seen as or taken as or perceived as. He is regarded as an expert in his field. Trivial. Trivial is very small or unimportant. Very small or unimportant. They argued over a trivial issue. Argued over is again a phrasal verb. That means they debated over a trivial issue, a very small issue, a very unimportant issue. Fundamental. The closing word of today is fundamental, which means basic or essential. That means important. Reading is a fundamental skill for students. Revise the video again, learn all the verbs, make your own sentences. Without vocabulary, we cannot win the reading comprehensions or we cannot represent ourselves in perfect academic writer, or without these good words again we cannot sound a perfect speaker. Hope the words help you a lot. Happy learning.